What is happening, y'all? Welcome on back. This time it is Rake Intermediate, one of the hardest intermediate maps in the game. Very exciting. I am sounding a little different, I guess. I'm slightly under the weather. The kids got sick, and once that happens, you just know it's only a matter of time before you get it as well. It is just the way it is. But nothing serious. The common cold, a mild annoyance in everyday life. We've all dealt with it, but yeah. I mean, I don't think it affects me like badly in terms of recording though. Like the voice sounds a bit cooler, So there's that. But yeah, we are here at Rake. This is actually the very last video for me to record for all of the intermediate maps. I already did the Spice Islands one, but that one is so easy that I didn't care much about it. I didn't even choose to commentate over it. So this is the last intermediate one with commentary. So that is of course very exciting. But yeah, this map, its challenge comes from the fact that the paths, the balloons arrive at exactly the same time, and the paths are fairly short, so you do have a limited time to pop the balloons. That makes the map fairly challenging. Some people think it's even an advanced map in terms of difficulty, and it's definitely on the border. It wouldn't be wrong to call it an advanced map, but it's just one of those maps that are, it's sort of in between there. Sort of with Cornfield, you could probably put Cornfield as an intermediate map as well, or a few others. So in the advanced category, that is. I think it's fine, but yeah, this is certainly way harder than some of the other ones that we've played, like Cracked, Cards and Darts, Streampad, etc. But enough yapping. We've been talking for a while. We haven't placed down a single tower yet, so 2 minutes in and it's time to get cracking. So we've got to begin with a Desperado start here. Desperado here, and a Desperado here. Perfect. So that is easy enough. They're fairly good in terms of like early game. The Desperado can be, it's very nice to start with two of them. They're fairly handy in that regard. So on a lot of maps you actually do place down two of these guys to start. Now I'm gonna place down a sub for round 8. There we go. There's gonna be a lot happening in the early games, so I'm gonna try to, hopefully things are not gonna go too fast, so I'm able to keep up. But man, there's quite a lot of stuff to remember. Like, it takes a while until we can finally just relax without a single worry, and then we can start talking about other stuff. But now, let's try to focus on a bit what's going on here. I'm gonna place down a wizard. That is our next tower here. Gonna get an Archmage eventually, so that's why we place it down. And early on, it's nice because you get the Wall of Fire, and the Wall of Fire is pretty decent. But the downside with the Wall of Fire, though, is purple. So round 25 is quite dangerous. Just to let you guys know beforehand, that is. But yeah, I'm gonna get the Wall of Fire. It's gonna be quite nice to have that. Okay, round 14 there. Always feels like dangerous, but with the Wall of Fire, though, we are all good. All good, all good. Guided Magics up next. That's gonna allow us to aim it. And we want to place it here because that interferes with both of the paths, and naturally, that's a big advantage. So we want to place it there. Next up, we get the. Let's get the twin guns. I honestly prefer that over the advanced intel, just because it does so much more damage. So it's a lot safer to once you have the twin guns, you're very unlikely to be leaking at least any of these rounds here. But important to note that we do need the submerge and support for round 24. I also like to have the mage on strong for these upcoming rounds, round 22 and 23. So I'm placing him on strong there. It's gonna make it a lot easier. Let's get submerge and support, but we gotta put him back up immediately, of course. I'm gonna let it go a bit slow here because we need to submerge him again for round 24. Okay, perfect. Then get him back up immediately. Then get the mage back on first. We can grab the arcane blast, I guess. Yeah, so place him back on first. For round 25, we want to have him on strong so he can snipe those purples. That's going to be fairly important. If he doesn't get those purples, we are in some trouble, but he does get them, and we're good. And now we can put him back on first, and save up for Churchill, which, well, it's quite an expensive tower, but he does a lot of damage, so we will be getting him on round 30, approximately. So, get that U key on your keyboard ready so you can place him down. The U key is the shortcut for the hero, so you want to place him down before the round ends. So, you can place him down right now, pretty much. There we go. Place him down. So we have Churchill ready, and that's always very good. Always a relief to have the hero. Next up, there's round 33. We need that for... We need to submerge the sub again for the camos. So important to do that. Let's get rid of this thing as well. Anything else I've forgotten about? Just that for round 34, you should get him back up, of course. And I believe that is more or less everything. Oh yeah, we're gonna get the Bloons reactor next. 35, and should be in just a second here. Okay, then we can submerge him, because the reactor does a decent amount of damage. Next up is going to be the Arcane Mastery. I think the hardest round of this run is round 40. That round is, it has screwed me over before, so not saying it can't happen again, but that is the next thing to prepare for. I'm gonna go for try to be a bit clever with my placement here. I think this is good. You do not want to involve the Desperado in that, so we place it like a little bit off to the edge, off to the side here, you could say. And we get the Berserker Brew for round 40. And I'll get faster throwing too, because why not? And okay, that was easy. Not a problem. Just used his ability there at the right time. And that was round 40. Next up, I'm gonna save up for... Okay, we have a few options here. I believe I'm gonna go ahead and grab a village and a jungle drums to have that too. That's good to have extra speed in the tank. And from there, what we want to save up for next is going to be the Energizer, which is a core part of the strategy. The reason why we get the Energizer is so we can get Churchill up to level 20, or as high level as possible. He levels up way faster. It's going to be massively beneficial later on to have him, like... Because he becomes insanely strong eventually. It's crazy. So we're gonna get that, and the faster you get the Energizer, the better. Because naturally, the moment you do get the Energizer, Churchill starts to level up very quickly. And that's when his acceleration begins. So if you decide to get the Energizer later, Churchill will not be as high level as he would have if you wouldn't have gotten it. That is kind of it, but it's up to you what you want to do. It doesn't change that much. Could be like, instead he's level 19 at the end, and you should be able to defeat level 100. Without Churchill being level 20, of course. Or 19, or whatever it is. But, you know, I prefer to live a bit dangerously, so I'm just gonna allow myself to take the risk. But that also entails that these rounds up till round 60, I believe, could be a lot tougher. So, if you want to make it easy for yourself, you can grab the Arcane Spike and you will not be losing whatsoever. That would be the safe way to go about it. You could also potentially grab the Stronger Stimulant. But I'm gonna try to save as much money as I can. But of course, I'm kind of in danger of leaking. I'm just noticing it right here too. Especially since we don't have the increased attack speed yet. So right now, I think I have to use the ability. I'm gonna wait and see, though. Okay, we're good there. And we're good here. And we're good here, okay. 500 for increased attack speed. That may be necessary. No, okay. That's good, though, that you get the increased attack speed. That's gonna make things a bit easier. So I think we're fine, but if you're very unlucky, you may have to use the ability, if you choose to do what I'm doing here. But as I said, the safe thing is to go for Arcane Spike or Stronger Stimulant. That's only $3,000 extra, and it's gonna be a massive help, but... yeah, I panicked a bit there and I used the ability. That's probably a big mistake, because I'm gonna almost leak. But we have it in just a second. Now we have it. So around 58 for the Energizer there. That is absolutely huge. Now, it's only about getting the Stronger Stimulant and Arcane Spike. Not sure if you knew this, but the Energizer is very strong for round 63. So you don't have to worry about 63 whatsoever. It's very good for round 63. It completely destroys it. So 63 is fine. Otherwise, you would have needed to get the Arcane Spike. The Arcane Spike is also very good against 63. Costs 10k, so kind of expected, and we almost leaked there. I pressed the ability a little late. I've been so lucky this round, it's crazy. This recording has been wild, but I've had a few where I've been very unlucky, so I guess it evens out eventually. But yeah, for the BFB, you gotta use the ability a bit earlier. I almost leaked by the skin of my teeth here. The blue balloon got over here. But anyway, here's round 63. It's super easy. It's not a problem. It's very important that this thing is not touching the Desperado there, of course. So one thing I am gonna do, I realize that I'm probably gonna leak now. Oh yeah. Not even a chance. That's kind of expected. Normally at this stage, you have the Arcane Spike, and you need that for the Moab damage. So what I'll do, this is the second part of our plan in the synergy with the Energizer, so I get this guy down with the Monkey Pirates, and that's gonna make this 64 not a problem. Okay, hook in one of those, and then it's easy, as you can see. But I just took the risk because I kind of wanted to push my luck a bit, but essentially that is the solution. Get this a bit earlier than you would normally. So if you went for Arcane Spike early, then you get the Energizer right after, and then you can start building on the Buccaneer if you want, but I wouldn't bother with that. If you went for that, you can then instead just go straight for Archmage, but I now need to get the Arcane Spike first. Very good Moab damage to have in the bag, but Churchill is now also leveling up way faster, so he's going to be very strong now in the next rounds. Like, from level 12 to 16, he gets, like, way stronger. Like, level 12 is the first big upgrade for him. Annoying to have that leak on 64, but it was kind of expected. I can't be gambling too much, you know? Like, I actually enjoy gambling a bit. Shouldn't be advertising that for the kids, but... Like, betting on a game of football or something, especially if the teams are not too interesting, is always something I enjoyed. It's like a small amount. Or playing some blackjack at the casino. Playing with friends is actually really fun, but... Naturally, you gotta be careful. With that. Like... Only, if you do gamble, you gotta have strict rules and stuff, so you're able to control yourself. Like, if I lose this, I'm out, kind of thing. That's what my dad always told me. And, yeah. Of course, there's quite a few horror stories with that, but... It is with everything, you could say. Everything in moderation. But yeah, I haven't gambled in a long time, though. So I'm not really putting the money where my mouth is. The last time I gambled is like, I guess it's 3 years ago at this point, so it's a while ago. But I don't know why I'm talking about that, but considering, like, how this run went in the early game, it felt fitting, you know? Because I was gambling a lot trying to get this Energizer working, but now it is working fairly well. We have the Arcane Spike, the Archmage. We will be getting that right after, I think. We're not going to bother yet with the Pirate Lord. That's more for later. That's at the very end, but the Pirate Lord is going to be an important part of the strategy, actually. For round 98 specifically. I remember, like, when I did and got this strategy together, I had tried some other towers with the Archmage, but 98 is extremely dangerous. And since I do have the Energizer, it feels kind of like a waste if I don't go for something that helps out with the Energizer. And the obvious choice is the Pirate Lord, because of the cooldown that's a lot shorter. And its ability is very strong, right? It just hooks in COMGs. So, it was the natural thing to go for with the Energizer, because the Energizer isn't that strong. So, you gotta be, if you're gonna use it, you gotta synergize it very well. Its base attack, I mean, it's good for balloons, I guess, but it's nothing extraordinary by any means. Like, it is 30k. Like, you could pay the same amount, roughly, for something like a Glaive Lord, or something else, like Carrier Flagship, perhaps. That's gonna do a lot more than the Energizer itself. But here we are, we're at round 80 already, so we're doing well. One thing to note is also the base attack of the Pirate Lord and the Monkey Pirates does quite a lot of damage. It's pretty decent, actually. So yeah, I really like this synergy. I was pretty happy when I came up with this. Not something extraordinary by any means, but this is a unique approach to this map. I was happy with what I came up with. Because almost all the time what I try to do, I sit down and then I make up my mind on what I want to do for the map. So that's what I did here too. And this is what I came up with, so I think it's a lot more fun to craft something up yourself. Naturally, that goes against this video a little bit, or what you guys are doing, because you guys are looking at what I'm doing. But, like, I also have to use guide at times for the hardest of maps. I usually quote the guide in the description or saying thank you for the inspiration or whatever every time I do that, but you know, for this series I try to avoid that at all costs, because it feels like it goes against it. But if I do end up using it, or at least it's mostly in the early game though, because the hardest part is knowing where you have to place stuff in the hardest maps. But yeah, I think it's always fun to try yourself, and if it just doesn't work, then I look something up, you know. But okay, one thing we gotta do right now, while the sub, it reveals camo, we don't have, we need the MIB, because the Archmage can't hit purples, at least with every attack, so that's important to note. Churchill is pretty much our only DDT popping power at the moment. The Monkey Pirates doesn't have camo detection. I mean, the Energizer reveals it, but it still is inconsistent. So what we want to do, we want to get the MIB. Should I get it now or not? Yeah, I think I have to. So I'm gonna get that set up first before we get the Pirate Lord, because it's too dangerous not to for round 93. We probably would be fine with Churchill's ability, but I'm not gonna take the risk. So there we go. Also, one thing to note, if you don't have the camo detection for the Monkey Pirates or Pirate Lord, then the hook-in is not gonna work on the DDTs, because it can't see the DDTs in the first place. So that's another thing to keep in mind, actually. So here we attack the COMGs. There we go, perfect. Round 92 done. Let me give you a demonstration of the hook-in for the DDTs. Okay, you couldn't see much there. But we're gonna get the Pirate Lord, I think, during round 95 or not. Okay, it's 94. Shouldn't be an issue. But we can get the Pirate Lord, which I will get. Very nice. Very nice, very nice. Level 17 for Churchill. I kind of would have liked him to be a bit higher, but that's fine. So here's 95. Not a problem. We have plenty of DDT popping power here. With the MIB, it's not an issue. Gonna use some Churchill abilities. Around 96. It's only 12k away. Oh, I'll purchase it. Why not? Get one of those COMGs. Can get the other one too. Why not? These guys are so slow that I can take in, like I can already take in one. Take in both. Why not? Just because I can. Round 98, get that. Get that. Churchill ability. Level 19. And that's it for 98. Hooked him in for 99. Perfect. Level 20 for Churchill. And that's going to do a lot of damage on the bad. And try this. And boom. Okay. That was it. So, if you don't have Churchill level 20, it doesn't matter that much. The bad will still pop, but maybe a little bit later, like around here. And then once it pops, you instantly press the hook-in ability for the Pirate Lord, and you should be completely good. But that's about it. The hardest part is around 40. I mean, I made it look very easy, but I died there numerous times, but I think you just need to time the ability well. But if you die, that'll just be a bit... be aware of that. I guess you could try to observe where the Alchemist is buffing. If you notice that it buffs these, like Churchill, then instantly go for the ability. I guess that could be another way to go about it, but... that's it. So Rake is complete. I'm very happy with this video, honestly, even though I died on 64. That was just a self-inflicted wound, because I just... I forgot that I didn't have the Arcane Spike and just let everything... I forgot about the stupid fortified Moab on round 64. Like, 63 is not the only dangerous round there. Like, 62 is dangerous too. And 64. And 65 too, so... Those 3 rounds there are... actually quite scary, but actually 4 rounds, 62, 63, 64, and 65, but yeah, that is it for Rake. I hope you enjoyed it. That is every intermediate map on Chimps completed for me, but after this one I'll upload Spice Islands too, but let's have a look here. It's quite a bit of maps, so now we have pretty much, we've gotten to this point where we have only advanced and expert maps to go, so for me that is extremely exciting. I have now also completed Sunset Gulch. I spent like a day trying to craft which strategy to go for on this one. Kind of a pain in the ass, but that is more than that later though. But we have only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages of maps left to go, meaning 36 maps to complete, I think. Actually not, less than that, because there's only 3 here, so that would be 33 maps to complete. So that's very exciting, very, very exciting. Not too many maps to go, and this is where the challenge begins. This is where I also need to lock in a lot more, because now things start to get tougher, so it's gonna be exciting for advanced and expert maps, and stay tuned for that. Probably have this running as long as I can, but yeah, this is it for this video though, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.